It's midnight and you're tuned into Nightline with me, Muhammed, Ahmad, Hamdan. The top stories. Youth, the pioneer of progressive politics, says PM. And RMAF personnel and a coach killed during weapon training. Good morning. The Royal Malaysian Air Force, RMAF, confirmed that one of its personnel and a coach were killed during weapons training at the basic grenade training site in the Syed Sirajuddin camp in Gemas Negeri Sembilan on Sunday. Another RMAF coach suffered injuries in the 12:10 p.m. incident as they were undergoing support weapon and hand grenade training. In a statement on Sunday, RMAF said the victim, a student of the Defence Assistant Enhancement Course Class 1 Series 78/23, died at the scene. The two injured coaches were given early treatment at Gemas Army Hospital and were then referred to the Segamat Hospital. RMAF has contacted the next of kin of those involved and handed over the case to the police. The statement also said that the force would set up an investigation board to identify the cause of the incident. In Sabah, 7 family members found themselves in a harrowing situation as their house, situated over the water in Kampong Kolapis, collapsed into the sea during a storm. The incident occurred at around 5:45 p.m. on Sunday following strong gusts of wind that battered the area. Buletin Fire and Rescue Department spokesperson said the department received a distress call about the incident at 5:51 p.m. and 10 firefighters were deployed to the scene. Upon their arrival, the firefighters were confronted with a distressing sight, a house teetering on the edge of submergence with 7 people trapped inside. The nearby volunteer firefighters promptly initiated a rescue operation to save the stranded occupants. The rescue operation was concluded at 6:29 p.m. Moving on, the Prime Minister on Sunday praised youths as the pioneer of progressive politics. Sri Anwar Ibrahim also expressed hope that the young generation can be torchbearers of unity and multiculturalism.
Siapa yang ketentukan sama ada Malaysia kekal sebagai satu negara hebat di dunia? Yang akan tentukan bukan orang-orang tua yang lapuk pemikiran nak pecah belahkan rakyat. Yang akan tentukan masa depan ini aman. Semua kita bersaudara, semua kita bekerja untuk menyelamatkan bangsa dan negara kita adalah anak-anak muda sendiri.
The Prime Minister said this when officiating the launch of Rakan Muda Nafas Baru at Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia in Bangi on Sunday. He added that he did not want young people with stagnant thoughts that would divide society. Sri Anwar also assured that his unity government would listen to the aspirations of the younger generation who has had enough of preaching from those who do not understand their needs and aspirations. In the same speech, Sri Anwar also advised the youth to make the right choice, and that included rejecting any elements of corruption and abuse of power.
Saya minta saudara PK dalam dunia yang mencabar, dalam media sosial yang menggugat, saudara anak-anak harus buat pilihan yang baik. Kerana satu kesilapan satu generasi akan menghukum negara kita ke lembah kehinaan.
He said that the advice came as the globe has become more challenging due to the rise of the social media. Meanwhile, Sri Anwar on his social media post announced that Khazanah Nasional Berhad Khazanah is set to create a new green investment platform to attract more direct investment locally and from abroad. He said the initiative aimed at helping local companies, especially Bumiputra firms, which would also result in more high-quality jobs for the people. Datuk Seri Anwar said the matter was discussed during the third Khazanah Board of Directors meeting for 2023 held a few days ago, with Khazanah's role in national development efforts also thoroughly looked into. The discussion also touched on the importance of implementing a sustainable energy transition plan to ensure economic sustainability. Datuk Seri Anwar, who is also the finance minister, said the meeting's main discussion was on investments by Khazanah to strengthen the domestic economic ecosystem, not only for startup companies but also for those that were already successful and required capital for future growth. He added with Khazanah's involvement, the initiative could help develop local workforce talent and increase the country's capability and competitiveness. The Prime Minister also stressed that the government is committed to continue driving Malaysia's economy forward in an environment of global market and geopolitical uncertainty. He said in this regard, stronger cooperation among the private sector and also the government, whether at the federal, state or local authority level, must continue to be improved. In line with the Madani principles, the Prime Minister urged Khazanah to be on the right track and stick to its mandate to deliver sustainable economic and social benefits for the people and a better future for the country. In other news, Dr. Zaliha Mustafa on Sunday urged all parties to support efforts to ensure that the Control of Smoking Product for Public Health Bill 2023 can be tabled in Parliament at its next sitting. The Health Minister said the issue needs to be taken seriously due to the smoking habit, especially the increasing use of electronic cigarettes and vaping, contributing to the increase in the burden of diseases in the country. Dr. Zaliha, in the text of her speech, which was read out by her deputy Lukanisman Awang Sauni at the launch ceremony of the national level World No Tobacco Day in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah on Sunday, said a youth health survey involving young people aged 13 to 17 showed an increase in electronic cigarettes users from 211,084 people in 2017 to 301,109 people in 2022.
Ini jelas menunjukkan bahawa tembakau bukanlah satu komoditi yang mampan, malah mampu menjejaskan kehidupan penanamannya selain merosakkan kesihatan jutaan umat manusia.
Dr. Zaliha also said that Malaysia is witnessing an increase in non-communicable disease cases, with the 2019 National Health and Morbidity Survey report showing 5.1 million people have 2 or 3 major risk factors for cardiovascular or heart disease, the main contributor to death in Malaysia. The Health Ministry, according to her, has tried to bring the Control of Smoking Product for Public Health Bill 2023 to Parliament. She hoped that through this legislative measure, a generation of young Malaysians will be free from any form of smoking habits known as the generational endgame, involving teenagers born on January 1st, 2007 onwards. Sultan of Kedah Al Aminul Karim Sultan Salihuddin Sultan Badlisha has consented to the dissolution of the 14th State Legislative Assembly on June 28th to pave the way for elections in the state. Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Sanusi Madnor said the consent was granted during his audience with Sultan Salihuddin at the Sultan of Kedah's office in Wisma Darul Aman Alostar on Sunday.
Saya ingin memaklumkan bahawa bermula pada tarikh berkenaan, tadbiran kerajaan negeri akan dijalankan oleh kerajaan caretaker government yang mana segala fungsi kerajaan akan berlangsung sebagaimana biasa sehingga kerajaan negeri yang baru akan dibentuk selepas PRN akan datang. Seperti yang telah saya maklumkan kepada tuan-tuan sebelum ini, saya telah dapat garis panduan daripada penasihat undang-undang negeri, fungsi dan tanggungjawab yang akan dilaksanakan oleh caretaker government. Secara umumnya, perjalanan pentadbiran kerajaan akan berjalan seperti biasa.
He added that the State Legislative Assembly Speaker, Datuk Johari Bulat, will notify the Election Commission on the dissolution this Wednesday. Kedah has 36 State Legislative Assembly seats, with Perikatan Nasional PN holding 20 seats, while Barisan Nasional BN and Pejuang each holding 2 seats.
Supaya dia boleh masuk racing untuk kita manfaatkan mini stadium yang nampaknya rumput lebih panjang daripada 2019 ini. Kadar sewa.
And here's an update on the RMAF bomb incident. The deceased have been identified as Air Force Cadet Laskar Udara 1 Muhammad Iqmal Masdi and his instructor Corporal Udara Muhammad Shu'ib Bidin. Another instructor sustained serious injuries and is being treated at the Segamat Hospital. In a statement a while ago, Defence Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Hassan conveyed his heartfelt sympathy to the families of the deceased and disclosed the identities of the deceased. However, as at airtime, no details were available on the identity of the injured instructor. In the 12:10 p.m. incident, all three were involved in the support weapon and hand grenade training. Laskar Udara 1 Muhammad Iqmal Masdi died on the spot, while Corporal Udara Muhammad Shu'ib Bidin died at the Segamat Hospital. Malaysia is in the process of joining Alliance 8.7 as one of the Pathfinder countries that supports the Sustainable Development Goal SDG 8.7 targets. Alliance 8.7 refers to global cooperation aimed at expediting the elimination of forced labour, modern slavery by 2030 and child labour by 2025. And among the Pathfinder countries that joined it are Argentina, Chile, Nepal and Uganda. In a statement on Sunday, Human Resource Minister V. Sivakumar said he had emphasised Malaysia's commitment to fighting the issue of forced labour at the 111th International Labour Conference, ILC, on June 12 in Geneva, including the amendment of the Employment Act 1955, which has created new provisions through Section 90B regarding forced labour. According to him, his ministry will continue to intensify enforcement activities in combating the issue and carry out various inspection operations based on legal provisions in collaboration with the Department of Labour, Peninsular Malaysia. Now, the electricity subsidy of 5.2 billion ringgit recently announced by the government will greatly assist the majority of domestic and non-domestic consumers to weather the higher cost of products and services. Malaysian Employers Federation MEF President Datuk Syed Hussein Syed Husman said that without the subsidy, micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, including restaurants, retail shops, bakeries, small workshops, farmers, livestock breeders, planters and similar businesses would be burdened with increased electricity tariffs. In a statement on Sunday, the MEF said it is important that businesses, especially the MSMEs, are assisted in their efforts to recover their businesses and be more sustainable and, at the same time, assist to stabilise the labour market. Datuk Syed Hussein added with appropriate assistance and establishment of more conducive business environment, businesses will be able to create better quality new jobs to provide employment opportunities to the new graduates. On June 16th, the government agreed to allocate 5.2 billion ringgit electricity subsidy to mitigate the effects of the electricity tariff adjustment in Peninsular Malaysia for the period of July 1st to December 31st, 2023. The subsidy is to ensure that the majority of domestic consumers and non-domestic low-voltage consumers would not be affected by the electricity tariff adjustment, while high-voltage and medium-voltage non-domestic consumers would see decrease in their electricity cost. Meanwhile, Datuk Syed Hussein expressed his wish that the government would soon share the plan on electricity tariff adjustment beyond December 31st, 2023. The MEF hoped that the government would continue to provide electricity tariff adjustment subsidy for 2024 to enable businesses to fully recover amid volatile world market. He also said the government assistance will go a long way to ensure the economic development of the country. When we come back, Moscow security measures still in place. Stay tuned. back with news from the foreign front. An anti-terrorist operation regime was still in force in Moscow on Sunday, a day after mutinous Wagner mercenaries threatened to storm the Russian capital in a dramatic security crisis for President Vladimir Putin. The anti-terrorist regime was introduced in Moscow on Saturday as Yevgeny Prigozhin's forces appeared to advance on the capital, with authorities asking residents to limit travel. The Wagner forces, however, withdrew late on Saturday under a deal mediated by Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko. Moscow authorities also said that a day of work introduced to curb movement around the city on Monday would remain in place for security reasons. The whereabouts of Prigozhin, who led the rebellion, were unknown on Sunday, but Moscow said the armed rebellion charges against him will be dropped and his fighters will also not be prosecuted. Prigozhin, who was updating the public on Wagner's mutiny via audio messages on Telegram on Saturday, had not yet said when he will leave his country for Kremlin-allied Belarus. The aborted mutiny raises big questions about Putin's grip on a country he has ruled with an iron hand for more than 2 decades. In the meantime, Malaysians in Russia, Armenia and Belarus are advised to stay vigilant following the conflict. The Malaysian embassy in the Russian Federation said Malaysians in all 3 countries are urged to register or update their latest locations and contact information with the embassy. In a statement on Sunday, the embassy said registration was critical to ensure that relevant information and updates from the embassy and Malaysian government could be communicated as effectively and efficiently as possible. Foreign Minister Datuk Sri Zamri Abdul Kadir on his social media posting on Sunday said his ministry is closely monitoring the situation in Russia following the unrest caused by an armed mutiny. He also said that the embassy is in close contact with all 755 registered Malaysians and requests them to remain calm, vigilant and stay indoors. Greeks went to the polls on Sunday for the second time in little over a month to elect a new parliament, with voters expected to give former Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis' Conservatives a second term in office. Mitsotakis' New Democracy Party won an election on May 21st, 20 points clear of the leftist Syriza party that ruled Greece from 2015 to 2019. It, however, fell just short of the outright majority needed to rule without forming a coalition, prompting the second vote under different rules that make it easier for the winning party to secure a majority in the 300-seat parliament. Opinion polls in recent days have shown New Democracy winning with around 40% of the vote, with Syriza headed by Alexis Tsipras trailing at about 20%. Sunday's election is being held in the shadow of a migrant shipwreck on June 14th, in which hundreds of people are feared to have perished off southern Greece. Ankara secures maiden grass court title. Stay with us. tennis, Kazakhstan's Alexander Bublik battled his way past third seed Andrei Rublev to win the Halle Open title, his first on grass, just over a week before the start of Wimbledon. The 26-year-old took the first set 6-3 after breaking Rublev in his opening service game, before Rublev responded by winning the second set in similar fashion. Bublik, however, raced ahead in the third set to claim a 6-3 win and the biggest title of his career. He will now move up to a career-high 27th after sitting 33rd earlier this weekend. And still on tennis, the 2023 Singe Championships, Carlos Alcaraz returned to the top spot in the world ATP rankings after he outplayed Alex de Minaur in the final on Sunday night to claim the trophy. The top seed recorded a 6-4, 6-4 victory in 1 hour 39 minutes to secure his first grass court title. The Spaniard's fifth title of the season moves him back ahead of 23 Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic at the top of the rankings. AI invention, where do coding skills stand? The details after this short break. Welcome back. In today's world, society is becoming more dependent on technology and staying connected. Due to this, coding is seen as an important job skill across various industries, not just in the tech sector, as more businesses are increasingly relying on digital solutions to adapt and grow in a new market. Even with the advent of generative artificial intelligence, AI tools, which can help non-programmers write code easier and faster, there is still a need to nurture tech talents to create a highly skilled and knowledgeable human capital for the country's future. Alif Yunus reports.
AI coding assistants and low-code, no-code applications have emerged as invaluable tools, empowering those without formal training in programming to become citizen developers who can create digital solutions or products for their business or organization. This led some to question the relevance of learning to code. However, instead of dismissing the disruptive technology, the education sector remains optimistic and has embraced it with open arms by integrating AI tools into the curriculum to enhance students' learning experiences and skills. It is also unlikely that AI will entirely replace developers and programmers, as human intervention is still needed to drive innovation and creativity, identify and resolve issues, as well as execute more advanced lines of codes.
As a programming students, we are the one that put all the pressure and all the our arts and our capability in the coding. Compared to AI can do more of things, but it cannot do as strong and as powerful and as efficient as humans. So I think that programming students still need to learn how to code, and it's still efficient in the long run.
Using AI tools in learning to code is still relevant to learn to code with the AI tools full in the landscape, in the area. but there would be some issue if you were to get the answer from the AI tools and you cannot rectify the problem it comes to get in the code. You still need the basic knowledge to rectify it, to fix it and to actually use it.
University Putra Malaysia UPM Deputy Director of Innovation in Teaching and Learning, Associate Professor Nur Fadlina Muhammad Sharif also concurred, adding that coding is more than just syntax and commands. She also highlighted the significance of human interaction and conversation in developing personalized and context-aware digital solutions.
For us to be able to come up with an innovative coding to solve specific problems, we need human minds that is able to digest the problem, come up with a solution, model solution that's suited to that problem, improvise, while the code snippets that are being generated can help in various stages of programming, can debug and can give us ideas, but to relate to the specific problems and to connect one code to another environment and another problem cannot be automatically done without a human. So only a human knows at this scenario what is the best code, what is the best algorithm to use.
She further pointed out that the ability to understand user requirements, develop personalized solutions and continuously improve the technology is an irreplaceable aspect of human programming. As for the National Tech Association of Malaysia, PICOM Chairman Ong Chin Siong, he noted that the use of AI tools could potentially decrease the marketability of certain types of developers.
On the other hand, AI tools are also creating new opportunities for developers. For example, AI tools can be used to help developers write better and accurate code, to find and fix bugs, and to make better design decisions in a shorter time. This could lead to an increase in the demand for developers who are skilled in using AI tools.
He also reminded the new generation of programmers to continue to adapt and be aware of the latest programming languages as the tech industry is constantly evolving from time to time. While AI tools continue to gain traction in programming, the value of learning to code remains steadfast. This as the combination of coding skills and AI tools presents opportunities for both innovation and marketability in today's rapidly changing technological landscape. Alif Yunus, TV3.
Moving on, in Perak, police arrested a 23-year-old man for allegedly killing his girlfriend at a shop house in Taman Song Chun on Sunday. Ipoh Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Yahya Hassan said the man's mother and two other individuals aged 29 and 65 were also arrested. The incident was reported by a neighbour who witnessed a fight between the couple at 4:34 a.m. and that the woman had sustained injuries after being allegedly hit with a broomstick. The suspect, the victim and their 8-month-old baby lived together, and it is learned that the man was under the influence of drugs during the fight. 4 mobile phones and the broomstick allegedly used by the suspect were also seized. All of the suspects have been remanded for a week until July 1st to facilitate investigations. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for murder, which provides the death penalty upon conviction. The victim's body was taken to the Raja Permaisuri Bainon Hospital for post-mortem. Nightline this time around. Let's take a look as an Egyptian workshop makes replicas of the Kaabah's Kiswa. Ahmad Othman keeps the tradition alive in a small workshop tucked above the labyrinthine Khan Al-Khalili Bazaar in central Cairo, where mass-produced souvenirs line the alleys. I'm Muhammed. Hamdan. Thank you for tuning in and have a great week ahead.